So I want you to picture this. You are out in a field, you are pulling weeds by hand, bending under the sun, you're exhausted, you're maybe wondering if there is a better way. Now, imagine instead of hours of back-breaking work, there's a machine that drives itself through the field, spots each weed within milliseconds, and blasts it with a laser. There's no chemicals, there's no pulling. There's no mercy for these weeds. Well, that's not science fiction anymore. That's carbon robotics. Want to welcome you back to Breck to the Future in this Builder Spotlight today, where we celebrate founders and teams that are tackling those real world challenges that shape civilization. We want to talk about carbon robotics. Carbon Robotics is a company out of Seattle that is quite literally rewriting the playbook on farming. So, if food is the foundation of a society, then farming is the backbone. But weeds, well, they've always been the enemy, right? Stealing water, stealing nutrients, and most importantly, stealing time. Traditionally, farmers have fought back with chemicals or armies of laborers, but approaches have been costly, inconsistent, and let's be honest, environmentally messy. So here's where carbon robotics is flipping all of that on its head. Let's talk about carbon robotics. So the company was founded in 2018 by Paul Mikesell. Paul is a technologist with deep roots in computer vision and AI. He looked at agriculture and saw a problem that was begging for modern tools. I mean, why waste chemicals and labor when you can build a robot smart enough to see a weed, decide it doesn't belong, and then kill it with precision? Needless to say, investors bought in quickly. To date, Carbon Robotics has raised over $157 million, including a $70 million Series D in 2024, which was led by Bond Capital and NVentures. NVentures is NVIDIA's venture arm, so you can tell they're definitely interested. Since then, they've doubled revenue in the last year and grown to about 160 employees as of this taping. But let's talk about the technology. What makes these robots so special? Well, the flagship LaserWeeder is a self-driving machine that's packed with 24 NVIDIA GPUs. Again, remember, they are heavily invested in this company. While operating, they are crunching 4.7 million images an hour. That gives the eyes and the brains of the operation to spot weeds with sub-millimeter precision. Once locked, it'll fire a laser that vaporizes the weed, and it gets about 5,000 kills per minute as it operates. Since its launch and inception, these machines have eliminated over 10 billion weeds across North America, Europe, and Australia. So think about that for a second. 10 billion weeds that never stole nutrients, never competed with the crops, and never required a drop of herbicide. What a fantastic idea. But we also want to talk about the new model, the G2. They're not slowing down. Just this year, Carbon released the LaserWeeder G2. It's a lighter, modular, faster version designed to fit a broader range of farms and budgets. And this is where innovation gets exciting. They're not just proving the tech, but they're scaling it so more farmers can access it, which is ultimately what we want here, right? Now we want to talk about the impact. The results are staggering. Farmers report weeding costs down 80%. Crop yields are rising 10 to 15%. In some areas, just with this technology, they're as high as 50% yield increase. Let's take Triangle Farms, for example. They saw yields jump up 50% in their lettuce fields after adopting laser weeders. And they project full payback on their investment in under 3 years. Some farmers say the machines can pay for themselves in less than a single growing season. The jury is out on that one, but to each their own, and each of them are seeing incredible results. This is not becoming just a nice to have. It's a transformative economic machine, pun intended. Now, just talking about this for a moment, want to riff here for a second. Imagine this technology in your own backyard. No more bending over. There's no chemicals in the lawn. It's just a compact little laser robot that's keeping the garden pristine. It sounds like a dream, right? Well, today it's at large scale farming. Tomorrow, who knows? And this gets me fired up. Believe me, the last couple of weeks I have been inundated with pulling weeds, getting the home ready for get-togethers, parties. The herbicides work only to a degree. Some days I'm bent over pulling stuff out. It's fine. It can be therapeutic, definitely, character building. But at this age, I'd like to think I've developed quite a bit of character with and without the weeds. But again, this type of technology gets me fired up because we're seeing builders that are taking a cutting edge AI and robotics idea and applying it to one of humanity's oldest challenges, growing food. Absolutely needed in the marketplace. Very excited about this company. But also, Carbon isn't the only player in this space. You do have John Deere investing in robotics and companies like FarmWise that are building mechanical weeders. Here's the difference, though. Carbon doesn't rip weeds mechanically or spray them with chemicals. The lasers leave the soil untouched, the crops are unharmed, and the field is chemical free. Now that is a serious competitive edge. This also will have an incredible impact on society. So let's zoom out here for a second. This is bigger than just the weeds. This is another angle and opportunity to address food security. It's an opportunity to help farm more sustainably. It's about reducing a dependence on chemical herbicides and scarce labor. And it's about automation freeing people from repetitive, grueling tasks so they can focus on higher value work. When we talk about robotics shaping civilization, this is it. I know there are other examples out there, which we are excited to cover, but how does it get any better than this? I mean, food is non-negotiable. A lot of other things that are non-negotiable, but food, if it's not one, it's 1A and there's 1B somewhere else. If we can automate and optimize foods production, we are going to build more resiliency into our society in being able to address and assist food scarce populations. So, very excited, very bullish on this company and this technology. And here's what I love most. This isn't, a Silicon Valley social application for cats, right? Like something that I have talked about at the beginning and why I'm doing this is, looking around, we don't need another food delivery app or, as I jokingly said, a social app for cats, right? Like we need companies that are tackling and focusing on important topics, important subjects and what could be more important than food and food availability? This company, this approach, it's tangible, it's useful, and it's solving a problem that every civilization for the last 10,000 years has faced, right? How do we keep the weeds from choking out our food? How do we continue to sustainably and proactively address our food supply? And now, thanks to carbon robotics, the answer, quite literally, could just be lasers, which is fantastic. Freaking lasers, right? So, what do you think? Would you welcome a laser robot into your garden? Definitely would here. Definitely have interacted with you in the past about how robotics is the first thing you want weeding to take care of. But do you believe that this is the future of farming, or are there still risks that we need to wrestle with? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Reach out to me on X at Breck to the Future, or check out the full show archive on YouTube and my Substack. That's it for this Builder's Spotlight. Until next time, keep building, keep imagining, and keep looking forward to the future. Thank you.